Hi, and welcome to Get Curious with Kirsten, where we talk about the intersection of curiosity and leadership. My name's Kirsten Meneghello, and I'm the founder of Illumination Coaching, and we specialize in corporate leadership and team development. Today, we're going to talk about getting curious internally, and that starts with self-reflection, where we get curious about what's happening inside of ourselves through introspection and self-examination. So I've been studying Shotokan karate for the past few years, and I've seen self-reflection in action. You see, the black belts in our dojo have a fantastic practice of self-reflection, and they do this both personally in terms of their own character as well as their karate practice. And it's said that martial artists must face themselves strictly because they have to be aware of their own capabilities, both their strengths and weaknesses as a fighter in order to defeat an opponent. And I think that's a good practice for each of us to emulate as well. So what are some benefits of self-reflection? Well, we get clarity around who we are. We have greater self-awareness that comes with knowing our thoughts and feelings and reactions internally. We also get clear about what we want. So what do we value? What we pursue in terms of goals? What will we say yes or no to? And then also there are insights in terms of how we react to situations. It can help us to process and think through how have we handled interactions with others in the past and help us to respond rather than react in the future. So I'd like to share with you some comments I received recently from a client named Anthony who had an experience with self-reflection. And he writes, "As a manager, I was always looking out, never looking in. Looking out at what our teams were doing and the numbers, training others, giving feedback to others, but very seldom did I look within myself. Until COVID hit, our team was working 7 days a week, 80 or 90 hours a week, just go, go, go all the time, always driving. And then COVID forced us to slow down, and I found that making time for self-reflection has really helped me tremendously. So first of all, it helped me to not keep all my emotions bottled up inside because I would take time every day to sit down and capture my thoughts and feelings in a journal. And I block out time each day to have that reflection. And what I've learned most about myself, it's hard for me to give up being in control. And I also have this ingrained mentality of seeking perfection and wanting others to always be perfect too. So thank you, Kirsten, for helping me to look inward and to improve internally during this time." Thank you, Anthony, for sharing your experience with self-reflection. And you've identified a really important aspect of it, and that is we have to prioritize it. We have to schedule time for self-reflection and make it a habit, something that we do regularly. Because if we don't prioritize it and put it on our calendars, what will happen is other things will come along to fill that space for us. So we have to make it a priority. Now you're thinking, well, this sounds great, Kirsten, but what am I supposed to do with this reflection time? And I've had leaders say that to me. I have it on my calendar, but what do I actually do? Well, I've got some good questions to get you started. I recently wrote an article for Forbes Coaches Council on an article called Time to Reflect. And I'll share that link in the description below so you can check it out. But here are some ideas from that article and some questions you can use. You can reflect on yourself. What am I feeling right now? What am I noticing in my body? Or what thoughts keep floating up to the top of my mind? You can think about what you want. What are opportunities for learning and growth that are available to me right now? Where am I feeling challenged in my life? Are there other options available to me that I haven't thought of? You can also examine and reflect on how you've responded to recent events. So maybe you're asking yourself, why didn't I speak up in that meeting last week? Or what was I feeling when I yelled at my spouse over that stupid peanut butter jar being out on the counter? How do I really feel about being passed over for that promotion again? So I'd like to challenge you to set aside some time this next week for self-reflection. Just experiment with it. See how it goes without judgment. And then think about what worked, what didn't, and what was hard about it. Maybe it was easier than you thought. I'm curious. So please share your comments if you feel comfortable below with your own experience with self-reflection. And next week, we're going to talk about how we can be curious by seeking out new information. Until then, stay curious.